After giving birth to my baby 3 months ago, I thought I would have to put my passion for diving on hold, but instead I could never imagine that I would be diving regularly in the most extreme way possible. The moment I am under the ice, my mind is focused on the beautiful ice formations, and the worries of taking care of my baby just melt away. After I surface though, I feel refreshed and energized, and I am ready to get warm and dry so that I can run to my baby and embrace her by attending to her needs. Baby Sarah was 3 months old at the time, and she needed a lot of motherly attention, just like any baby would, so I had limited time constraints to work with when planning on ice diving. I decided to go freediving under the ice without a wetsuit to manage my time effectively, because it's easier to simply put on my mask and fins in comparison to gearing up and gearing down in my wetsuit, which would take about 20 minutes. Precious time that I can use to dive and take care of Sarah. This dive I was hesitant to go down because it was windy and cold, and it was one of my first dives of the season. But I was so curious to see the icebergs that Andrea told me about that I took a deep breath and jumped right in, and was so grateful that I got to experience such massive and magnificent icebergs. I felt humbled and very small swimming amongst the icebergs. Touching these icy formations underwater made me realize that this was an accomplishment, especially being only 3 months postpartum, and besides that, completing this dive in just my bikini. This was my favorite dive of the ice season at the grotto. It wasn't easy though to get there. I had to trek through the deep snow while pushing Sarah in the stroller. Then I had to climb down with baby Sarah in the carrier to walk on the ice towards the cavern. The weather conditions were perfect, which allowed ice to form in the grotto and created a safe pathway for me to walk with baby Sarah. Although I was tired after hiking through the deep snow and very hungry since I had to breastfeed Sarah, I was overjoyed to be the first person to ever dive the grotto under the ice without a wetsuit. The dive felt so great that I decided to go for a second round to take advantage of this rare opportunity to dive the grotto under ice.
Wow, Lily. And Lily does it too.
Yeah! This was the coldest dive of the season because the air temperature was negative 15 degrees Celsius, and on top of that there was a wind chill that made it feel like it was negative 20 degrees Celsius. The winds were so strong that day, but this dive was so beautiful. I got to experience the wonderful geology and view the fascinating ice patterns. One of the dives I thought would be fun to go under the ice as a mermaid. However, it was a challenging dive because of the extra material from the mermaid tail and exiting through the ice hole. This was one of the warmest dives of the season because there was no wind and the sun was shining so bright. We had traveled all the way up to Sudbury and had a lot of fun exploring the underwater tent and other sunken treasures at this dive site. By this time, I was so accustomed to diving under the ice without a wetsuit and was very efficient with my entrance and exit routine to take care of baby Sarah. Being able to ice dive without a wetsuit after giving birth to my baby would only be made possible with the support of my loving husband and the help of my friends and family taking care of Sarah.